Welcome in. Hi.
It's okay, you can swear.
Yeah, you can swear. It's all good.
Hello.
Hi. So we kind of put you on the spot. Here's a mic for you.
Yes, I
Just
do
flip
feel on
that
the spot. This is lovely.
thing.
No, we're good.
All right.
Put this on.
But we...
Oh, it's magnetic.
All right, you can do that.
Maybe. If I can do that. Sorry if this is making noise.
Yeah.
All right.
So we totally don't have a script for you because
Wonderful.
we just saw you guys and thought you guys were amazing, and we wanted to definitely make sure people saw you too. So what is this?
So this is the XRP, or Experiential Robotics Platform. Am I talking to you or talking to the camera?
Either one's fine.
All right. So Experiential Robotics Platform. The idea is this is a low-cost, easy-to-use robot to engage in STEM education is our primary sort of intended use for this, but also for hobbyists and makers at all sorts of levels.
All right.
So that's sort of like the quick spiel. There's a lot more info I can go into.
That's awesome. Who are you? What do you do? With this
My name
thing?
is Dryw, and it is spelled with a Y. I don't know if you can see this on the... it's a Welsh spelling. And I am one of the engineers at SparkFun, and I am SparkFun's engineer behind the XRP. So actually, if we pop this open, I think there's some stuff in here. Oh, there we go. This is the partial kit. This removes all the 3D printed plastics. So the idea being you can print it yourself in fun colors or save some cost. In fact, actually, are you cool if I quickly go grab an actual assembled one?
Go for it, sure.
Be right back.
Yeah.
I'm stealing your mic.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
Is this the pricing?
He's here with us.
Have a
We have
robot.
him.
All right, here we go. So this is the better way to show it off.
All right.
So this is what the assembled robot looks like. And what was it? You asked the question. What would I do?
Yes, what do you do?
So I am SparkFun's engineer behind the XRP. My primary contribution was actually designing the control board on here.
Yeah.
Get that close to the camera and see all the electronics on there.
Yeah.
So that's what I designed. The XRP is actually a big partner project. It's not just SparkFun behind this. There's a whole consortium called the Experiential Consortium of all the different industry partners that have been involved with this. Some of them are listed on the chassis, actually. So we've got SparkFun, WPI, or Worcester Polytechnic Institute. They are sort of the origins of the XRP. We recently brought on a 3D printing nerd who's actually 3D printing all the plastics for us. DigiKey has been a wonderful partner and distributor for us, as well as Cornell Cornell Systems Engineering group at Cornell University. They've been doing some phenomenal projects with the XRP. They've completely reimagined lots of different things they can do with it. And they've, for example, they're working on sending an XRP into space on a Virgin Galactic flight.
Yeah.
It's really cool stuff they're doing.
Yeah.
So lots of different folks have been contributing to the XRP. Like the chassis was designed by folks at WPI and DECA. There's like online curriculum that has been written by folks at WPI. There's an online code environment that you can use to program the XRP. That is accessible on any kind of operating system or even Chromebooks for schools that all they have is Chromebooks. You can't install software. It runs in a browser. And that was created by folks at WPI and FIRST. And also, FIRST Robotics is actually a very big origin story of the XRP. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, sort of origin story of the XRP is so FIRST actually kind of requires a bit of background on FIRST Robotics, which is a large worldwide robotics competition type thing, where teams of students K through 12 build robots to compete in competitions all around the world. And there's different programs for different age levels. One of the things that happened during COVID, it's an announcement, hopefully it's not getting picked up. One of the things that happened during COVID is these competitions couldn't run anymore. And so folks at WPI, who, WPI is very involved with FIRST Robotics. They wanted an opportunity for students to keep doing robotic stuff at home. And they actually there's a little mini robot from Pololu called the Romy. And what they did is they took that Romy robot, stuck a Raspberry Pi on it so you can remotely communicate with it and stuff, and used that for like some programs at home.
Yeah.
That students could sort of easily access.
Yeah.
There was it was a really good step, like first initiative there. There was a lot of technical challenges associated with it, and also that was the time when Raspberry Pis were really difficult to actually get their hands on.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, this is working really well, but we've got some challenges that we want to solve. How can we do this? They created the first like pilot of the XRP. Looked sort of similar-ish to this. They took a board from was it Citron, the Maker Pi board. I forget what it's called exactly. RP2040 based board that has motor controllers and things.
Right.
And they had a robot that sort of looks similar to this, and they piloted that with the First Global teams. First Global being one of the programs in First.
Right.
And it's like one team from every world competing in an international Olympic style robot competition.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of good success with that, and they were like, this is working great. We want to make this big now. How do we do that? Got talking with various different partners, and eventually SparkFun got involved, and we were like, yes, we want to help with this because this is a initiative that really resonates with what SparkFun stands for. Because SparkFun, we're an open source electronics company that's been running since 2003. I think. Okay. I've only been on SparkFun for 3 years, but the sort of history of SparkFun is very open source electronics that's accessible to everyone.
Right.
And we were like, yes, we want to. How can we be involved, please?
Yeah.
And so we brought on, from that connection, with all of our industry connections, this is the kit that we've put together.
Okay.
We had a beta phase that we ran for the last 2 years of, some beta hardware, sort of like testing the waters, and it was immensely successful, way more than we were expecting it to be.
Great, that's wonderful.
So we took it and created the new full release version that came out just 3 months ago, and that's what this robot is.
That's awesome.
And coming back to your original question of what was involved, so SparkFun has been putting together the whole kit and doing all the sales and everything. But there's also been other contributions from WPI and DECO creating the chassis and curriculum, and from First Robotics and all those sorts of things.
Yeah, my teenage son, he does his school does VEX.
Okay.
So he's been into robots for a couple of years now. So, and I'm software engineer. I have a background in tech, so I'm also I want to build robots, and I thought this is awesome. I could take this, my kid and I can do it together. Something we could do together,
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it available for individuals? Like just anybody can just come get
absolutely.
one from you?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. And what do they run generally?
So the headline pitch is that they're less than the cost of a textbook. The idea being that, I'll give you some numbers. The idea being that every student in a classroom can get one.
Right.
And like we said, we are targeting STEM education, so classroom environments, summer camps, those kinds of things. But absolutely for hobbyists and makers, any level to get one individually. So we have a couple different versions of the kit. The full kit, which you see here, includes all of the 3D printed plastics and electronics and everything to put the kit together. That runs for, I believe, currently is priced at $119.95. Okay. $120.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's we're trying to keep this as low cost as we can.
Yeah.
We also have another version of the kit, which is called the DIY kit. It includes everything except for the 3D printed plastics.
Okay.
So the idea is that you can print it at home.
Is that this kit?
Yeah, that's what this kit is. And you can print the plastics at home to save some money, or print it in fun colors, or design something completely different.
Yeah.
And that DIY kit is, I believe, $99.95, so $100.
And when you do that, the literature's here to get them going and find all the classes and all that.
Yeah. We've got all the links to all the curriculum, and all that is open source and available for everyone to access, even if you don't have an XRP kit.
Okay.
That's all available.
Yeah.
In addition to the pricing, there's also an education discount.
Okay.
So anyone who is affiliated with some kind of education group, like a school or a classroom or a summer camp, or even robotics teams, they can qualify for an education discount that knocks off another 30% or so.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, that's great.
So we're really trying to make this as accessible as possible. All of these are potentially subject to tariffs right now because we live in a fun time.
Yeah.
We're doing our best to keep fixed pricing for the XRP, but obviously we live in
things
the time
are uncertain, right? Yeah, we do. This is I love this. I signed up for the. Because there's a giveaway they're doing.
Yeah, we're doing a giveaway here.
I signed up and I told my husband, get over there and sign up because we need one of these kits.
Yep.
So we definitely are doing it. And I know we put you on the spot to do this, and I super appreciate you coming and showing this off for us. And yeah, so what is the website, just in case people want to go take a look and see?
Yeah, absolutely. A good landing page would be sparkfun.com/XRP.
Okay, awesome. This is amazing. Thank you so much for doing this for me.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, let's see if we have a question. Do we have any questions?
Any questions in the chat?
Any questions in the chat?
How many people are watching?
6.
Gotcha.
It's sort of. Yeah,
Okay.
I can't see the. Any questions from the chat? I'm gonna let him go if you don't ask a question. I'm giving you time to type. I'm not being impatient.
I'm gonna get this repackaged for you.
Oh yeah.
What I should have done is I should have showed. Oh goodness! trying to not swear.
Oh no. Yeah, you can. You're good. All right.
On the side of the box is a list of all of the partners on the XRP consortium, so I can just show that up there.
Yeah.
So that's all the different groups there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Yeah, this has been mentioned before, just not in depth. So we wanted to really know what was going on with it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, the chat is leaving me hanging. Do you have a question, Bearded? Nothing?
I can tell you one more aspect. That's actually the software side of things.
Okay.
Because you can program the robot to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And there's lots of different programming options available.
Okay.
The primary one that we're pushed most of the time is an editor that runs in a browser.
Right.
And it's called XRP code. The reason it runs in a browser is because a lot of schools, all they have is Chromebooks.
Right.
You can't install software on a Chromebook.
Right.
Um,
Right.
And so you can't like go download your Arduino IDE or whatever. That's not possible.
Yeah.
So it runs in a browser so that you can access it from a Chromebook or any operating system.
Right.
No software install required.
Yeah.
And then there's within that XRP code editor, it actually goes to .edu domain as well. So there's no domain blockers that are going to stop it.
Right. Okay.
But within that editor, there's two programming options. One is Blockly. It's a visual drag and drop interface where you have access to sort of a library of different blocks that you just drag around and connect them however you need. Don't have to worry about syntax, and you can see everything that's available to you.
That's
so really easy for beginners to get started who've never touched code before.
Even little people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you can have small. I've seen plenty of small children, writing fully functional code for a robot.
That's amazing.
But obviously, block code is not an industry standard, and professional developers don't want to do that. In fact, I've seen a lot of professional developers get intimidated by it as well.
Does the block code look a lot like what Scratch?
Yeah,
looks
it's
like?
very similar to
Basically
that.
the same.
Principle, yeah.
Okay.
But you can take that block code and actually convert it into Python code. So you
Yeah.
can write Python code for this robot instead.
That's
and
awesome.
that conversion is a helpful stepping stone for students to learn a sort of industry standard language like Python.
Yeah. Are there any other languages you can program in, or just?
Yes, there's lots of options. It is Arduino compatible.
Okay.
We don't have official support for it at the moment, but you can absolutely write code for it in Arduino. You can also write bare metal code if you want to use. It's a Raspberry Pi microcontroller on here, so you can use Raspberry Pi's Pico SDK if you want to do like bare metal programming, like really low level stuff. There's also in FIRST Robotics, teams use a software library called WPILib, which is typically written in Java.
Okay.
And there's a way to use that same interface with the XRP robot so that students can use the same tools they use with a competition robot with the XRP. So you can use that to train students, train new members, or prototype mechanisms early on in the competition season.
Right.
And there's a whole list of other languages that I'm forgetting off the top of my head right now. There's
We did
several
put you on the
options.
spot. That's not your fault. That's ours.
That's all good.
Yeah, that's awesome. So basically, you can do this in whatever you're comfortable with. If you're already comfortable with something,
Yeah, absolutely.
you can pretty much do it.
Yep.
However, that's amazing.
Yeah.
This thing is so cool.
Thank you.
I'm a super nerd. Did we get any? You have a question?
You have a question?
Letting people make custom tests for those as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is your favorite one that you have seen someone create for it so far?
Favorite chassis specifically or favorite modification?
Either.
Ooh, okay. There's some good ones. I don't know if I can. Okay, let me run through a list of some that I think of. I got some friends back there. Give me 5 minutes. So our partner group at Cornell University that I mentioned before, they have really taken the idea of the XRP and ran with it. The idea being, here's a base kit, but we want it to be expandable. That's actually something where a lot of other robot platforms, it's a limitation of a lot of other platforms, where you get this robot kit, you do some fun stuff with it, and then that's the end. It's a closed ecosystem. You can't do anything else.
Right. Yeah.
And so it just ends up sitting on a shelf. We don't want the XRP to be sitting on a shelf. We want it to be used for something and like continue to be used and developed on. So it really is designed for expansion and modification. The entire design is open source. And so our partner group at Cornell University, they've taken this design and completely reimagined various aspects of it.
Yeah.
So they've designed a chassis where instead of two drive wheels on the back and then two caster wheels on the front, they've got sort of what they call a 0 point or 0 turn radius chassis.
Yeah.
Imagine this turns around. It's got this large arm moving around.
Right.
They put the drive wheels sort of more centered so that as it turns, it doesn't like swing around at all. You can kind of like turn in
just
place.
in the same place.
Right.
Got it.
And they've also made a mini version of the XRP, which is much smaller. It's like probably about half the footprint of this.
Yeah.
And they've also made some cool additions, like putting a retractable pen holder, like a marker holder. So the idea is you can have a whiteboard on the floor and drive the robot around to draw pictures.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And there is actually a marker holder on the base kit as well. It's just not retractable, but you can draw pictures with it. I've actually drawn the SparkFun flame logo with the XRP.
That's so much
project.
fun.
We actually ran a 3D printing contest last year where we got a bunch of submissions of people making really cool things. We've seen folks doing various drive mechanisms. They had like tank drive, so like actual tank treads that were 3D printed. I actually made a balance bot where I stuck some big wheels on this and using the gyroscope on this to keep itself upright. There's been people put like mechanism drive. There's been a couple of folks that have made swerve drive with the XRP, which is sort of a mechanical engineering masterpiece. There's also, if you're familiar with what are they, Strandbeests. This Dutch guy who's making these walkers that get wind powered that walk around on the beach. They've got these complex leg mechanisms.
Okay.
Someone who's like that same geometry stuck it on the XRP, so they've got a walking XRP.
Wow. Okay.
Or like even like servo powered legs to like walk along.
Yeah.
There's been various attachments that people have made, like catapults, a Nerf dart launcher, a vacuum cleaner. This is a contest we ran on printables, and the main for the vacuum cleaner one, they had on the front picture. The picture of the thing, and then this banner that said "It sucks more than anything."
Nice.
It's hilarious.
I love a good funny slogan. The college I went to, it's called Austin P, and it says their slogan is "Let's go P," but it's PEAY instead of it's. I love that.
That's hilarious.
I love any company or school or anything that does that. And it's like, well, you know what? It's funny. Let's just do it.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
That's pretty awesome. That sounds like a lot of really cool stuff you can do with that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And our partner group at Cornell University, they were also taken the XRP and sent it on a 0G test flight with an astronaut who was preparing to go into space. Okay. And so they're building a very modified version of the XRP that is going to go on a Virgin Galactic flight and has these impeller blower mechanisms to like push itself around in 0G.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, so we're really excited to see that.
Yeah.
There's also been a group at Cornell University who's been partnering with the University of Idaho, creating an agricultural robot with the XRP.
Okay.
Where they have this like gantry system that has a bunch of these, like potted plants effectively that automatically tends to them. And so it can automatically water them and like measure the soil moisture to water them if needed, or plant seeds, or they're planning on putting some, like cameras on the system to like detect are there any problems with the plant that need to be addressed in some way?
Yeah.
And they're doing some really cool things there. They're trying to make it into like an actual like industry curriculum with the XRP for this agricultural robot.
So what you're telling me is this can basically be anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much
That's
everything.
really what the vision of the XRP is.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's super
Does
amazing.
that answer your question? I don't know if I gave a specific favorite, but there's a lot of different ways of using it.
All right, I'm not giving them any more chances. They had
No
their
problem.
shot. I'm gonna let you go because I know you
Sounds
got friends
good.
waiting for you. But thank you so much for just
Sure thing.
randomly stopping by and doing
Absolutely.
this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take the microphone off.
Yes. Yeah.
Magnet.
Don't be like
Magnet.
Vinsky and try to run off with it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.